Hello, I'm Virna Rossi. I'm Associate Professor and PGCET Course Leader at Ravensbourne University, London, UK. Thank you for inviting me, and I'm going to very briefly talk about the advantages of using digital walls such as Padlet, and also some of the limitations and perhaps warnings in these types of platforms. So what I'm sharing here is a Padlet, which is a digital wall, which is about using Padlet for teaching and learning. I'm going to just make it a little bit bigger so that you can maybe see it better. In this case, I have chosen four headings or sections with prompts. So if you wanted to use this in your teaching and learning, you could either give the Padlet itself a title, which is a prompt, and then students can just post like you were putting sticky notes on a wall, or you can create sections where you or the students post some prompts, questions, issues, or aspects of teaching and learning that you're discussing, problems, whatever it might be. And anybody can add a post by clicking here, and it allows all the multimedia. For example, you can add a link, you can upload a file, you can add a photo, or they can answer an existing post such as this one by simply adding the comment. Posts can be anonymous, and it works very well unless the group is very large, because then it becomes quite crowded. So for I would say definitely under 50 users, then it works very well. Or you may have to create different groups, otherwise the Padlet becomes a little bit too big to navigate. In this case, my prompts were using Padlet about Padlet in teaching and learning. What are the possibilities for the setup and engagement? For example, inductions, orientation, group profile. And some of the ideas that were shared here, for example, is that it can be a photo board where students upload their photo, their profile, or some pictures of their pets. It can be academic backstories, for example, getting to know new students, new groups, etc. Input and practice is a very interesting aspect because you can use it live during the lessons, and you can set it up very, very quickly once you know how to do it. And the free account gives you, I think the option is to create 3 Padlets, while the membership then or subscription allows you unlimited numbers. So for the input and practice, what are some possibilities? Now, one of the posts here explains there are maybe 5 sort of main pros: enhanced collaboration and engagement, and then versatility in content sharing because of the multimedia, as I mentioned before, ease of use and accessibility. It tends to be very user friendly, and facilitates feedback and reflection, including peer feedback and reflection, and supports flipped classroom and remote learning, because you can set up a Padlet and ask students to interact with it before the lesson, so that and then you can use it and add to it in class, so that it helps students to start thinking and preparing, for example, for a lesson or a new topic or a new aspect that they are studying. It can also be very easily used for outputs and feedback, for example, for assessment. Is very user-friendly for peer feedback, because a student can upload a particular submission and others can respond, for example, and you can add your own feedback. It can be used to clarify assessment criteria, for example, by having those sections as the individual criteria. It can be used for recapping, to build portfolios, and also for evaluation of your own teaching and learning, for example. In the anything else here, there is one particular post which is important about accessibility. And the 2 aspects to bear in mind is the fact that alt text is not supported within Padlet. So that means when you can ask contributors that if they choose to add a photo or an image, can they write in the comment the description, so that those using screen readers, for example, can access the image. And the other one, in terms of screen readers, is that if the Padlet becomes very big with many different media, uploaded, it can be difficult for a screen reader to present the information logically. It can do it, but it doesn't mean it's quite logical. This is why recently I've used the columns, because then you've got the information organized in those headings or themes, and the screen reader can much more easily make sense of it and reproduce it for somebody using a screen reader. So yes, there are some potential accessibility issues like any platform. However, I think generally speaking, this has been a very user-friendly platform, which has allowed a lot of collaboration, even on the spot. And I've often created a Padlet there and then in class, a bit like a polling tool would let you just do that there and then. And so I think that it has supported inclusivity and more intentionally equitable hospitality, because it's allowed everybody to participate. You can have the post anonymous, and also it can be easier in terms of turn taking when you're online, because sometimes it can be difficult for people to just speak up, especially if English or whatever the language is perhaps is not their main language. So I would very much recommend it, and I hope you give it a go. Bye.